Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faith Block Lights, we take a look at this. And what this is from Stonewall Kitchen, it is the ghost pepper jelly. And I thought, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, that is wild. And then I've seen that ghost pepper's been used a few more times. You know, lately I've been doing a lot of ghost pepper type products, and I'm cautiously optimistic that it's making my very favorite Super Hot is making a comeback. It used to be all the rage years and years ago, prior to Scorpions and prior to the Reaper, the Mighty Mighty Reaper. But I'm seeing Ghost start to make, it seems like, more headway these days, and I can't be more thrilled about that. Ghosties have always been, it was kind of love at first bite. So we've got, they're saying it's hot. Okay. Specifically for the heat lovers. Okay, so it is 4. It is 4 chili heads. Appetizers, cheese plates, a pan sauce. I guess that they're meaning to like cook stuff in it or something. I don't know what a pan sauce is supposed to be. All right, so we have sugar, water, pectin, ghost pepper mash, cider vinegar, and citric acid. So I've done a few jellies so far in 2024, and they've all had cider vinegar, and I can't tell if there's an actual reason for that, or if they just are doing it because of the, sort of fad, the quote-unquote health benefits of it, which are largely non-existent, mind you, but with any luck, they won't be too prominent here. So, all right. Here it is. Here it is. The old upside down test. Wow. Okay, there's no mistaking that. Whoa. Whoa. This straight up smells like ghost peppers. Wow. Oh boy, are we in for a treat. I think. Interesting. This is going to be really... I mean, you can see there's a good amount of pepper pieces here and in here. What did I get myself into? Man, I can't wait anymore. I got to find out. Oh, that is fascinating. So, it's not particularly hot, but what's interesting about this is I had a habanero earlier in the year, and that, along with this and everything else jelly related, will be in the spicy sweets playlist. But there wasn't really there's habanero pieces in it, but it wasn't particularly habanero forward. It was almost like jellied cider vinegar. I'm so pleased that cider is not playing much of a role here. I'm really trying to get a grasp on this taste here, though. This is very intriguing. So fascinating. Wow. This could use a touch of smokiness. So I think this is definitely going to run past where normies are going to find a lot of comfort. But let's try it then. Let's try it on, what do we say? Cheese plates. I don't have any of those, but cheese and boy, you know, I could see, this is not cloyingly sweet. I could see this get used, adding it to some recipes or something as a glaze. Maybe that's what they mean by pan sauce. Oh, that is super nice. So I'm getting a bit of esophageal warmth. Mouth heat is almost non-existent, but I am getting some esophageal warmth. So the cheese I picked here is Kerrygold's Dubliner to go along with my Breton crackers. Breton, I thought these were UK, but I don't think they are. I think they're out of America somewhere. Breton crackers. And, oh, that is so interesting that I'm getting esophageal warmth, but I didn't really get any particular mouth heat. That is wacky. Huh, who knew? Who knew? So this is it's a cheddar. And they're saying there's a hint of sweetness to it. I quite like this cheese. I think Kerrygold makes some really, really good stuff. It's going to be a pain to cut, I can see. Yep. I should, with the amount of spicy cheese and just having cheeses with the jellies and stuff, I really should just invest in a good cheese knife. But I won't. Okay. So let's do this. All right, we're going to try a few things here. First one is, it kind of moves away from the spoon as well. Is it alive? I don't know. Okay, we're going to try the cheese on top and the jelly underneath. Oh. Oh. That was so good. Wow. And so I have seen this in grocery stores. There are other jellies. I have not ever seen this in a store. Even though that store at one time, I need to go back there and look, but they used to have actual ghost pods and scorpion pods and reaper pods. I'm not a big one for pods as it is, but I should see if those are still around. But this jelly wasn't. All right, so cheese on the bottom this time. I think I may need a stronger cheese in this. I don't have one, but I think these actually need a stronger. What if we do this? What if we actually, let's try this. So this one's a little bit thicker. And what I'm trying to do is get some balance here. It is so interesting to me why I'm getting hardly any mouth heat at all. But I'm getting some esophageal heat. This is a quite good jelly. Oh, there's a little bit there. Finally, we got a little bit there. A little bit of mouth heat. Let's just roll it by itself once. This is such a unique product. Wow. You know, if you want the flavor of the pepper to get kind of a feel on what Ghosties tastes like, but you want to be able to do it in a quote-unquote safe setting, this jelly would be a good one to look at. And cheese and jelly. There we go. I just need to make this thicker. Wow. That is good. See, I'm getting a little bit of a reaction here where my nose is running a little bit. It's just kind of bizarre to me that I'm not getting hardly any mouth heat at all out of this. It is super minimal. Try that again. A little flotilla of cheese here. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it on the cracker again this time. Why is this jelly trying to escape me? It doesn't seem super spreadable like this. Really quite good though. I like this jelly. It definitely represents the flavor of the ghost peppers. A lot of people won't like it, I think, for that reason. You don't have any other fruits or anything in there. It is just straightforward. The pepper is a star. And a base of pectin and sugar. It doesn't read, very happily doesn't read as high as far as the cider vinegar. I think you could, it'd be an interesting jelly. If you made it like an apple ghost, for instance, I think that'd be really interesting. All right, so we can't do this. Man, I can't quite put my finger on where to put the heat on this. I mean, it's a default one for sure. But an actual legit one, I mean, it's I guess it's not quite there for me. Even though I get little sections are hotter than others. Like it's not consistently warm. But yes, we are going to do just a little bit here of try some peanut butter and jelly. That cheese is really quite good. Excellent cheese, Kerrygold Dubliner. I don't know what to make of this. It's you know, trying to find balance between having enough of this jelly has just been my challenge. That's been the hurdle for this entire video. is to get, some balance. That one, I didn't have a lot of it, but somehow I had too much peanut butter for balance. It just smells like ghost peppers. It is so cool. I like this. Oh. I wonder if I could use it as a glaze. Oh. For some pork chops. I got to try to hold out a little bit of this for grilling season because I really want to try that. Let's go with some light peanut butter this time. Making a mess here. All right, peanut butter. It's not as good as the cheeses. In fact, let's have one more of those just to kind of cap things off. I'll put that over there. All right, peanut butter and jelly. One more time for the world. Oh, plenty of jelly that time. Well, I appreciate they were thinking of chili heads when they made this. I mean, jellies are not typically hot, so obviously it is hot compared to other jellies, but as an overall product, I just don't think I can give it past the default one. You can see we made a pretty appreciable dent in it. It just moves away from me at the corners. See, it was pulled to the cap. And some sections are hotter than others. So this could get, theoretically, potentially, if you got a bunch in there with more ghosty bits, it could make it to a legit one. I'm just kind of saying it doesn't for me. Overall. Really super impressive jelly though. Jellies are I wasn't really planning on, well, I didn't know actually. It hadn't occurred to me that they were using hot peppers for quite a while. And I think I was stumbling around on Amazon, of all places, one day, just looking around for stuff. Because I'd said, I said at the end of 2024, I was thinking about that I had half an eye on producing less content for this year. So naturally, the thing I would do is look around Amazon for more stuff to film. But I am kind of glad I got on this diversion. This is very, very nice. To this point, this is the hottest jelly I've had. I will give it that. It is a very solid default one. And if you get the right chunk, I think you could probably reasonably this could even get a push towards a legit one. It's not blazing. It's not screaming hot or anything like that. As far as, like, jellies are just not generally hot foods ever. So as far as comparing this to other jellies, yes, it is quite punchy. But it really, I think very nicely embraces the flavors of the ghost pepper. Like I said, that's my favorite super hot. I really wish they would not have used cider vinegar because there are some kind of off notes floating in there that I wish weren't there. I think you would have been better off. If you use the mash, you know, they're calling a mash just ghost pepper and salt. So I think just use white, you know, for me. You don't need to use apple cider vinegar. You know, unless maybe if they were to go for like an apple ghost pepper sort of jelly, then sure, whatever. But I think if you're just going to go straight forward with a ghost pepper jelly, yeah, I would say just use white vinegar. Like, I don't think you need to start adding all those stray elements in there. To me, they just I didn't. I wish it would have been a different vinegar, I guess. Fresno would be another pepper I think would work really well in this setting. I have seen habaneros, I have seen jalapenos as well. But the ghost pepper is really, like, it's really interesting to me that somebody would take a super hot and try to put it in this setting, because most super hots don't function, I don't think, well in this type of thing. They need to be paired with something. The ghost to me is fairly neutral. But you can get a lot of the super hot sensations by getting a jar of this. Like, you can get a lot of the feel. And like I said, it is not, you know, tear your clothes off and go running into a snowbank hot or anything like that. It is, you know, quite tame comparatively. Certainly hotter than any other jelly, but overall quite tame. And I really hope we're still probably... You know, I'm filming this in late February. I would say that normally I would consider myself a good 4 to 6 weeks away from grill season minimum. But with the way the weather's been going and just hot streaks and stuff all over the place, this has been one of the warmest winters, I think, that I can ever remember in my entire life. And I'm not going to say how many years that is, but it is many. And so I might be able to get to grill season sooner, I guess, potentially. So hopefully, you know, I was going to say I'm worried about holding out till then, but given that could only be, you know, a short amount of time, maybe I'm not that worried about it. So, but I don't know, if it winds up being super windy and rainy, then it's still going to push it back to, you know, late April or May anyway. So, but I definitely am going to hold this out because I think this would be outstanding as a glaze on some grilled pork chops, and that's kind of what I've got my eye on. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, definitely, this was a touch expensive as far as jellies go. Super worth it though. Outstanding product. I wasn't thinking it was going to be like crazy blazing hot, which is why jellies were really backburnered once I found out about them. And but flavor wise, yeah, it actually, this is kind of an amazing thing. I was not expecting anybody to ever produce something like this, and I am definitely glad it has made it out into the world. So we'll just leave it right there. That was the Stonewall Kitchen Ghost Pepper Jelly. Now go forward in peace to serve the flame.